Okay, so we do live in the Truman Show. If you haven't seen the Truman Show, I'm not sure if it's on Netflix, but it's the Jim Carrey movie about how um, the wool was pulled over his eyes. He was um, lied to his whole life, and in the end, he figures out the truth, which is that his whole life is a TV show for the benefit of some um, movie producer who's making all kinds of money, and his full-time job is um, keeping Truman in the dark about the true nature of his reality. That is what is going on planet Earth. It's a great Truman Show, and I mean, you have to accept that you are lied to, and that beings are benefiting from you, and you get no benefit from it at all. Are you loved by the beings that watch you on whatever system they've got set up? Um, Probably not. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, you're not loved. You're not loved by the beings that run this show, the Matrix show, the Truman Show. You're used. You're used. And then when Truman finally found the exit to his fake world to go into the world of all the other beings, I mean, that's how they ended the movie. Oh, look at Truman decided to leave his fake world and go and enter the world that all the rest of them are in. And, it's not like they're going to love you anymore if you leave your box. It's not like life's going to be any easier when you leave the Truman Show and you go where all the rest of them are. So if, Prime Creator's idea was to experience himself, herself, by, shattering into uncounted numbers of beings, um, to experience himself, then not a very pleasant experience. So those people that say, well, I want to ascend to higher dimensions where we're all one, um, are you better off as one, not having uncounted numbers of beings, or do you still have all those beings that you watch from the oneness of it all? It's all very unpleasant. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. Because there's no love in it. And even if there is love in it, it's sickly sweet love. It's like, I don't want your love. It's fake love, or you want to hide somewhere in your own bubble universe where they can't get to you. No one knows if you can. So if I'm Truman and you're watching the Truman Show, I hate you. I detest you. I would kill you. I truly would. I would delete you for what you've done to me. Or am I going to get the power to delete you all? Well, I'll probably never be able to find the power to delete you all. But that would be my intention. So if you want to know how original hate was made, um, original hate was made by this, the Truman Show, creating Trumans, creating sentient beings that are set up, and then one way or another discover that the world that they live in is disgusting, and the creatures that are involved with you are vile, and discovering that you don't have a way to delete them, to kill them and remove them. You have to live with disgusting and vile. I mean, there are no human words to really get to the root of how vile they are. Um, how do you feel about the stories of, the extermination of the Jews in World War II? How do you really feel about that? I mean, day to day, you put it out of your mind. You don't even think about it. But, when it comes up, then, the questions are, did it really happen? And then the question is, well, what was it like to be one of those Jews? What was it like to be one of the Germans that participated in that? What's it like to be the other beings on other dimensions, other planets that allow it to go on and get their jollies from creating these kind of scenarios? Are there forces of light fighting forces of darkness, and then it just plays out here, like the Star Wars scenario that, you've got evil and benevolence fighting it out across the galaxy. And then once you figured it out, you're thinking, well, I don't know which way you're going to go. I would think most people want to go and fight on the side of becoming benevolent, but I could be wrong. But if that's the case, well, where do you start when you discover that you're on a script and that even what you want to do, you can't do, and you don't have access? You think of humans on planet Earth, such a small number of people on the planet have apparently the ability to travel anywhere. Is that true or not? Everything is like, I don't know. If you're Truman and you're told from an early age that, most of the third world population is dirt poor and cannot travel, and the only members of the third world that you might see in your own country are, the ones that were the richest or something, or luckiest to come to your country, and then you look at them and they're doing like, minimum wage jobs. I'm sorry if I'm digressing. It's very difficult to tell you that everything that I say, it's just what comes. This is another kind of crappy video because it's not uplifting. It's very makes you feel sick.